Do you remember the glory days of Netflix back in 2014? It was the unstoppable, unbeatable, and unforgettable Netflix. They were leading the pack with their iconic shows like Orange is the New Black. Netflix was the epitome of a cool, cutting-edge company that everyone wanted to emulate. It seemed like Netflix could become the Netflix of whatever industry they set their sights on. But fast forward a few years and things have changed drastically. Netflix is now struggling to retain its relevance in a market that it once dominated. They're going through desperate measures to turn a profit. So what happened? How did a company with so much promise lose its power in such a short amount of time? The golden child of tech is now desperate to stay alive, and we need to understand why. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the reasons why Netflix is dying. We'll explore the company's history, its current struggles, and the competition that is pushing it to the brink of bankruptcy. So buckle up, grab some popcorn, and let's get into why the once unbeatable Netflix is now in a fight for survival. It all started when Netflix started to lose its knack for brilliant execution. It began a strategy of greenlighting as many shows and movies as possible without a care for their quality. It's like the whole company is run by people without a brain. That was just like an algorithm that's malfunctioning right now, so they were just taking random properties and adapting them into bad shows. This was a bad strategy. Original programming is what made Netflix the coolest brand in the world. A Netflix original meant quality content. But after allowing so many garbage programs onto the platform, Netflix original suddenly meant nothing. Worst of all, their mismanagement led to a number of shows with cult followings being prematurely canceled. The customers began to feel frustrated with the once beloved company. This should have been their wake-up call, but it wasn't. Global events that caused everyone to stay inside led to more people than ever needing entertainment. So on the surface, Netflix kept doing decently well. But guess what else started happening? Consumers started experimenting with new streaming services. Quickly, users realized that there was better content out there at more affordable prices. That's why in April 2022, Netflix made a shocking announcement. Not only had they not gained new subscribers, they had actually lost 200,000 subscribers. As a result, their stock plummeted by over 70% from their peak. This was the first time in a decade that they had lost more subscribers than they had earned. They pulled out every excuse in the book. They said it was because of password sharing, pulling out of Russia, and people going back to work. But their competitors faced the same global conflict, and they didn't face anywhere near the issues Netflix faced. This is when the world's worst damage control kicked in. First, ask yourself, what would you do if you found your service too expensive and lacking in quality? Well, you certainly would not have raised prices up to nearly $16 a month, making you the most expensive streaming service. Unbelievably, that's what Netflix did. They continually increased prices, all while greenlighting shows and movies that became widely panned. This is because Netflix is desperate. The competition is good. HBO Max earned the premier branding that Netflix held in 2014. Now, HBO Max is the cool streaming disruptor. The fact is, people now don't need Netflix like they once did. And their years of mismanagement mean the company is bleeding capital and badly needs cash. Just last week, the company announced that they were cracking down on password sharing, something they used to be okay with. If you're using someone else's password to watch Netflix, your account has already been canceled or could be very soon. It makes sense on the surface. Over 100 million households share passwords. But this goes against the cool friend of the consumer brand they had cemented years prior. If that's not enough, they're now working on a cheaper Netflix that is supported by ads. They're becoming no better than the cable model that they were always meant to rail against. It's insane to think about it, isn't it? This company disrupted two different industries, movie rentals and cable television. But now they've lost their values and are rapidly declining. Unfortunately for Netflix, there's nobody to blame but themselves. Netflix has fallen from grace because of their own poor management. They have lost touch with what made them great, and their competitors have caught up and surpassed them. While Netflix was once the leader in streaming, it now finds itself struggling to keep up with the rest of the pack. The once cool company has lost its luster, and it remains to be seen if they can regain their former glory. In the end, Netflix's decline serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of complacency.